rise one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
What's going on, my good people? This is Charles McCutcheon. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. How do people feel today? How do you feel? This is amazing. I work from home a lot of the time, and doing what I do. So this don't affect me probably as much as it's affecting a lot of other people. I see some crazy things happening out there in the world today, and I'm just going to keep it moving. But today, those of you that are listening right now, my name is Charles McCutcheon. I'm a best-selling author, real estate investor, going to be on the development side as well, working hard at making that possible for this year, no matter what. I have the nonprofit helping homeless veterans, as well as the government contracting, business credit. I just go to work. That's all I do. I go to work and I make it happen. There's no excuses. I started from the project, but my mindset is not in the project because he has given me everything I need, and I'm taking advantage of it, and I'm cleaning everything off my plate so I can get more territory. That's what I'm doing, and I'm hungry, y'all, and a lot of people don't really understand what it means when I say I'm hungry. I'm it coming out my pores because I've seen the big picture. I've seen the big picture. So today, those that are new to the call, this is called Charles's Corner, and this is really based off of, for me, it's financial freedom. I take all these different topics, things that I do, things that I've done, people that I know, and I put it into this big mixing bowl and say, okay, you got to start doing your own due diligence and put the work in so you can get to wherever point you need to get to. I tell people you don't have to follow me, because you don't know where I started from. You don't know where I am. I could be on page 31 and you on page 2 and you're trying to compare notes. It won't work for you, family. It's not about me. It's about where you want to go. So that's what I tell people who introduce themselves to me and say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. And I say, hold on now, wait a minute. To do what I do, to do what I do, you're going to really have to do what I do. Do what I do. Not just talk about it, not just think about it, but actually put the work in and do what I do. And I would rather you do what you want to do, find something. And now this is and I've been preaching this for years, and now it's all come to fruition with all this virus stuff happening. So I've been telling people it's okay to work your job, but I think you need to have something on the side. And I always used to say, just in case. That's all I would say. It's just in case something happens that you have funding coming in. And now, guess what? That just in case just happened. So we are going through it. And for me personally, I'm very optimistic and say that, but then I'm going to say the way I look at everything that's happening today, I have to look at it and say that it's going to get bad before it gets worse. And I don't want to throw out false stuff to people. And some people are saying, no, it's going to be fine. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows if it's going to be fine. So I don't want to tell people it's going to be fine, and then they say, hold on, you said it was going to be fine. I didn't say that. I see other people talking about it like that, like they know, because we've been through a 2008 before. We've been through it before. We didn't, in 2008, we don't have, I don't know what it was last Thursday, but I know it was up to 16 million people who filed for unemployment. 16 million. And that's on the low end. It just keeps growing. So this is all a domino effect that we don't really know how it's going to play out. The stimulus money, you have one politician out there. He was talking about, that $1,200 should last for 10 weeks. He said 10 weeks, $500. I said, okay. And that's in the laws and accepting these laws and all that. So I don't know what's going to happen, family. All I'm saying is you can actually continue going right now, like start today. I'm going to give y'all some things that I think, and I don't want to regurgitate things that I said on the last show, because some of the things I put out on the last show was things that you can do in this down economy. And I'm not going to go over that. I'll just skip right over that part and just go over some things that I want to discuss today. So I want to talk about the real estate market, because I'm Mr. Real Estate, and I'm going to talk about market cycles and how things happen every 10 years and what you can do in the real estate world. I don't care if you just now start real estate. It don't matter, because this is going to affect all of us no matter what. We all going to live somewhere. That's my going in. We're all going to live somewhere. This is going to be a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, and it's going to be a lot of tragic things that happen for a lot of people, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm only giving you what I personally went through and that I'm going to work up. So in 2007, I got properties and everything. I'm in the military, traveling, going overseas. I was about to buy a property. I think it was maybe $299,000 back in like 2007. So I held off, and I said, I'm not going to be able to maintain all these properties while I'm gone. So I said, well, what I'll do, I'll just stop right there. So I stopped, did my stuff overseas, and then while I'm over there, 2008 hits and the bottom falls out. So during that same time, I got people, my colleagues and stuff doing real estate. I went to seven deals, 7 properties. They had 10, 15 properties, and I'm looking at them like, man, they really getting it. But they getting properties like, some of these properties was $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month. I was like, wow, that is getting it. They was going to them high-end neighborhoods and getting these big properties, and what they were doing was someone was getting these foreign military folks, because they get funding to come over here for maybe a year or 2 or maybe even 3, and they got to live somewhere, so they would get those folks, and they get a stipend type of money, $4,000 or $5,000 to live somewhere, and then they'll be paying the $2,500 note, right? And they get all these people who can afford that to pay a note. It's crazy, because they're renting. Crazy. You got different nurses or doctors that travel, and they can pay that note, that $2,500 note. And so as time goes on, people start getting dropped from jobs and stuff like that. This is all back in 2008 now. So people start getting dropped from jobs and stuff like that, and then if you have a $2,500 note times 10, family, I don't care how much money you make, the ship gonna start taking on water. Them notes got to be paid. And it's called foreclosure and bankruptcy. That's what it's called. And so what I did, I kept mine. My stuff was like $750 a month, $750 a month for, rent. And so mine was low, so I could actually maintain that, and I can find somebody to go in at $750 or $1,000 or $1,200. But it wasn't like, $2,500, $3,000. So, that's where another thing that I saw that I wish I could have got a piece of back in 08. Well, after 08, it was 2009. What I was seeing was a lot of these entities, they were hedge funds and everything. They was going out to these banks. So what banks have access to, they had so many properties that they're called non-performing assets, right? So they got these non-performing assets on their books, and banks don't do real estate. Banks had all these foreclosures, and they just sitting there. So what these hedge funds and big money people would do, they'll come to the table, $400 million, and say, hey, we want your whole inventory. And so they'll buy out 300-400 properties for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. So you get say you got a $100,000 property and you get it for $10,000. Amazing. And imagine you get 300-400 of those at $10,000, and now you do whatever you're going to do with them. You may need to fix them up. You get people in there, and then they're paying the rent on those, and then the market booms to where you got it at $10,000. The house probably worth $150,000, $200,000. You got it at $10,000. I'm telling you, life changes for you. life changes for you at that point in time if you can get to that level. But we don't have to go that big. I've just had to take it high level for a second. So, but I'm going there. I'm telling y'all right now, when this goes down, I'm going to the bank. Got a relationship already, going to the bank. Even without a relationship, I'm going to the bank. And I'm telling you, if you got money in the bank, you can say, hey, I want 100 properties and I want to pay this amount of money for it, and it is what it is. So that's something that can be done. The other thing that's going to be done in the real estate market is a lot of people going to want help, going to want out of their investments and stuff like that. So if you have been like building your house and everything like that and fixing your roof while the sun was shining, and you understand that you have the knowledge and the capacity to understand the real estate market, be a lot of opportunity for people to get a piece of. So let me give y'all a breakdown. Let me have y'all some understanding so you can see what I'm talking about here. So there's 4 things that we're faced with right now in this industry. It's called oversupply. You have a recession, you have the recovery, and you have the expansion. So we already went through the oversupply phase, and that's when there was a lot of vacancies. There's a lot of people doing construction like crazy. Boom, 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 boom. And everybody knows we're about to hit recession. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. So recession, you still have vacancies. They keep increasing, but now you have construction start to slow down a little bit. And we're still doing construction, and some people say during the recession there's no construction, and I would say that's not true. It's only true to those who don't have the funding, who don't know how to go get the money. So money is still going to be keeping out there getting made by people who understand how to go get it. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to talk about the money part. Y'all stay tuned for that, because I'm talking about the real money, and I'm about to shock some people here in a minute. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm not the one for games, y'all. That's not what I do. I'm so sincere and so serious about what I do, but I'm going to give y'all what I've been going through. So the recession slows down the funding because a lot of money changes, and I'm going to talk about how the money's changing like right now. Then right after the recession, we have the recovery phase. We start having less declining vacancies, and now you're going to start seeing construction start to pick up, because people want their money to make money. I don't care what's going on in this economy. People are trying to make money with their money, period. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. Then you have the expansion phase. That's when you have some declining vacancies and then construction just going through the roof. They just start, everything is happening. That's what happened like in 2009. They started, because I was a loan officer, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now, right before the bubble busted, I was a loan officer, and I used to have to talk people out of getting loans. And I'm that guy. I'm going to be like, sir, ma'am, I hate to put it this way, but you're getting a $350,000 house, but you don't really make enough money to cover the note. Well, what we're going to do is just do an interest-only loan, and then by 7 years, it's going to do a balloon payment, but we'll have everything by then. And I'm just like, come on now. It's not going to happen, but you can only tell, and then they're going to do what they want to do. You know, it's one thing to think you're right, but then there are people out there that's taking steps, and they don't even know that they're wrong, even after somebody tells. So I'm like, okay. And then that's when everybody started getting loans. I've seen loan officers giving loans to dogs. I don't care if you had close to a Social Security number. They was just giving loans. They called it no doc, and that means no documentation. You just come in. If you say you got a job, they're giving you a house and a loan. That's how crazy it was out there, and that's before the bubble busted. And they kind of did it this time, but they did it kind of sneaky this time. I was following it. So those are the 4 things that we have to look at: oversupply, recession, recovery, expansion. Right now, we're about to go through this recession, family. I'm just telling you what it is. So these are uncertain times. One thing, I see a lot of people out there, they're trying to get refied and everything like that. And all you got to do, look at the 10-year Treasury, and then you'll see the movement. And that movement right there, that's going to signal mortgage rates. The mortgage rate's going to drop again. And so I know they went to like 3-point-something, and people trying to time the market. I see people out there, and the real estate will go, well, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to wait. And I personally don't believe you can time the market. You know, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. If you understand real estate, you're not going to allow the numbers to stop you from doing real estate. So a lot of people looking at these deals, it's $1,000, well, I'm going to wait. Well, negotiate. You don't even know what the owner want to do. Ask the question, get to understand what the owner needs. That's what I do in my world. I understand what the owner needs. We got to figure that out. Can I help this person? Can I help them? What do the owners need? Because there's such a thing as called owner financing. That means you don't have to come out of pocket. And I'm not giving any legal advice. I'm not legally, giving any type of advice to where I would want you to go to your legal representative or your lawyer and figure out all the legalese that you need to do. That's not what I do. I have lawyers. I have SEC attorneys. I got, it's just I go to the right people to get the right information. I don't try to be the person that knows every doggone thing. I know what I know, and then I go get the rest of it of what I don't know, and I partner with those that do know. So you need to be the same way. So one of the ways to get to the money, one way, and this is just what I would do if I was in your position right now, if you're looking into the real estate world, if you in business, it doesn't matter. If you in business, if you thinking about business, like everybody in America, I don't know about everybody else outside of America. I'm just focused on America. Everybody in America right now should be focused on something outside of their main job if they got let go. That's all I'm saying. If you're not focused, if you're going to sit at home every day and moan and complain, I don't even know what to tell you. And I'm trying to be politically correct. I don't know what to tell you if all you want to do is moan and groan and watch TV. You can watch Netflix all day. I'll watch a series, but I'm not waiting on, a stimulus check and all that kind of stuff. I can literally sit at home, and this is not, I'm just putting it out there. I can sit at home every day if I choose, like I'm doing now, like everybody else is doing, but my paycheck's still coming in because it's called residual. Because I built mine when the sun was shining. That's when I built mine. And that's why I don't have to do the things that I do, but I love it. I love helping people. That's what I do, So my thing, if I were you, stop complaining for one, find out what you love doing, and start going down that road. There's somebody on YouTube that's doing what you're doing. Somebody on YouTube. It may be good, it may be bad and different and other. Somebody on YouTube is doing what you're doing. Now you're going to have to follow them and figure out if they're credible, and then follow somebody else and somebody else. I've spent hours on YouTube, y'all. That nonsense. Some people not credible. Some people will take your money. You just got to find the right people and hope that they're credible, and then start doing. For me, doing something is better than nothing. That's all. So I would start working on my credit if I were you. It's not that difficult to work on credit. A lot of people just don't want to do it because there's a lot of in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and you got to go through the documentation. Nobody wants to do that. I did that way back when. I started a company way back before 2005. I started a company way back when, helping people do credit because I had to do my own credit because nobody, I was $3,000 in debt. I thought the world was over. That's just where I came from mentally, from money, because nobody really taught me about money. So I'm just looking at it like, man, I'm $3,000 in debt. I'm like, if the world is over, like, I need to get this off of me. And so I had one company that hit me up. They said, well, you pay us $3,500, we'll get rid of your $3,000 in debt. I said, what? That don't even make sense. So I started researching. And from the research, I started working on my credit. Man, you should get paid for this. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I started a company and started helping people with their credit. Credit is just too slow for me. I just don't like it. I don't really like it. I know how to do it. I know how to jump somebody's credit 100 and something points in little time to nothing. That's just not what I do, though. But I can show anybody how to do it, and I'm gonna do that on social media. If you in some of my groups on social media, I don't post mainly on my on Facebook. I post on Instagram. I post in groups on Facebook. And I stopped posting a lot on LinkedIn, but I'm going to go back to everything after I hit this certain plateau that I'm working on right now. So all of this is there's a rhyme or reason for everything that I do. The other thing I would do is start working on business credit. Business credit, there's two types of business credit. There's one type you have to use your social security number and your credit score, and then there's another type where you use your employment identification number to get funded. You got to work on all the types. You got to work on your credit. your business credit, and I call it true business credit because then you don't need to use your credit score. So there's different types. So what I do in the real estate world is I study real estate every day. I was just on the phone with folks sending off some information. I'm going to tell y'all about it right now. It don't matter to me. So I just got a phone call, what's today? 2 days ago. And they was like, hey, Charles, we have access to some surplus funds, and we are going to look at funding projects that's over $100 million. They said, if you have something that's $50 million, we can work that, but we want something over $100 million. Cool. And I say cool because I'm doing those type projects, but not just cool like everybody can do that. But I'm saying I got the phone call, so then I said, okay, let me go ahead and that's what I've been doing today. I've been sending off packages and to get them funded to these folks that's looking for surplus money to actually help the economy and provide jobs to people. So that's what I've been doing today. So I study real estate every day, and for me, real estate is lease options, subject to wraparound mortgages. I'm running numbers on multifamily. I got the motels out there, the casinos, the theme park, and I do a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff from YouTube. I'm telling you, some good, some bad, but still, I did something. It's for me, it's about staying sharpening my iron. When a lease option comes around, I can do a lease option in my sleep. Don't matter to me. But I'm not doing lease options every day. I'm not doing wraparound mortgages every day. Those are, like, to me, the creative financing ways to get in the deal. And, of course, I have to bring this up. This is not type of legal information. All I do is say, go find out, talk to the lawyer that you're working with and see if they can do a lease option in your city, state, your locality right there. So find that out. I do a lot of networking, y'all. Right now we're doing, mainly on Zoom now, but I do a lot of phone calls, getting with people, talking to people, just making a connection to see. And a lot of us are out there on our own. We on the island by ourselves, trying to get the funding by ourselves, trying to do the deals by ourselves. When you can fund, like you got people out there with money that don't have the experience, and you have the experience, but you don't have the money, pair up. It's okay. Everybody want 100% of the money. What if you got 15%, 20, 40, 50% of the money? Some money is better than no money. Oatmeal is better than no meal. That's my mentality. I want 1% of 100 people. That's how I look at it. Let's get 1% of something, vice nothing. And somebody asked me in a deal I did, well, how much did you get? I said, what if I just got 1% off the residual? Does it matter? Because how much did you get? Because you got 0. I got 1%. Is that okay? I'm okay with that, depending on the deal. Now, I don't want, depending on the deal. I'm just going to put it that way. So with every deal, everybody come to me. I get so many calls and inboxes and emails every day. And I'm not mad. I chose this life. I'm not mad at it. A lot of people hit me up and, hey, I got this deal. It's $5 million. And my first going in is like, okay, where's the money? Where's the money coming from? You say it's $5 million, and they'd be like, I don't know. I'm like, well, that's really not going to get it done. But we got to figure this piece out, family. As a real estate professional, as a business professional, we got to put the money up front. We tend to not put the money up front. We do all this great stuff and had all these displays and make it look fancy, but we don't put the money up front. I'm saying when I say put the money up front, if you bring a deal to me that's $200,000, I want to know where's that $200,000 coming from. Do you have a 401k? Do you have self-directed? Do you have somebody that's coming with you? You got family, you got friends, you got a hedge fund. You got to figure the money out up front. And now I'm going to say, okay, what's that credit score looking like? What's that business credit looking like? What's that true business credit looking like? So we got to figure that's parts of the money that can come to you. So that's what I'm saying, where the money is. So right now, I'm going to tell y'all, if you're in the real estate world, deals are about to drop out of the sky. Deals are going to come like crazy. And they're going to be deals that you're going to be like, huh? Like, what? You're going to really give that to me like that? And it's going to be unbelievable. But the thing is, if you don't know you have a deal, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you didn't study and don't know you have a deal. So that's the killer. The killing education in the business world on the money side of things, We don't know where to get the money. We don't even know where to start to get the money. We're not even asking for the money. We're not at the table to even get the money. That's the crazy part. And when I found out, let me tell y'all what I did. And I know this is it's out there, but it's still, you may catch a few people. So when that lady hit me up and they was like, hey, I was gonna not tell y'all this part, but I don't care. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The lady said we're going for $5 billion with a B. $5 billion with a B. And I said, And so I put it out to people, hey, if y'all got a deal $50 million and up, hit me up. And this is the way I put it when I put it out there, like to make sure that we on the up and up on the legal side as well. I said, all I need is an executive summary. And we call this thing a Proform, and that's just numbers to say, what do you guesstimate this thing to be worth in your numbers and how you doing everything. So we do a thing called a Proform. An executive summary is just basically a summary of your project. Hey, I got this project in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's $200 million. It's blah, 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 blah. And just kind of just write it up. No proprietary information and nothing like that. It's just general information, basic, that you send out to people who want to fund your project. And so I put it out there all over social media, and I got a few people that I put their projects in. I got a few people, and we're going to see what happens with that. I'll put in some other projects as well. But that's what's going on. That's because I'm staying with my ear to the ground, and how sweet is it to get a phone call for somebody to say, yo, we're going for $5 billion with a B, and if you got something that needs funded, talk to me. Come on, y'all. That's networking, though. That's my network. That's the network that I'm a part of, to where people can call me and I can get those type calls. And I've been out here busting my behind, and that's treasure my name and what I do and what I put my stamp on. I treasure that stuff. So the other thing is, in the real estate world, a lot of people don't know how to break deals down. I've seen one guy overpay for $30,000. And he's like, yeah, I kind of screwed up that one. I was like, you don't just screw up $30K. That's not, if you don't want it, give it to somebody else. I'll take it. Nobody just want to just give up $30,000. And that's just understanding the numbers. So I tell you about the waiting game. You're going to lose if you try to wait, family. It's not going to work for you. So I'm going to some more funding things that I would do. You can leverage your asset. You can leverage your house. And I'm not telling y'all to do this. Please get an expert. Don't be trying to jump up there what Charles said. No, I didn't. Get an expert, family. I am Mr. Real Estate because I study, and I'm still learning. So get an expert that can show you what you need to do. Some people, I got a $250,000 house that's paid off. So you have $250,000 that you can probably take 80% of and invest in something. That's just how I think. I'm not telling you to do that personally. Some of y'all have credit cards you can get at 0% interest, but some people don't do it because they don't know how to do it. Get an expert to show you how to do it. Some of y'all can crowdfund. And crowdfunding, you can put $20,000 in and 20 other people put $20,000 in, and y'all do a Regulation B, 506B, get a SEC attorney to do up the paperwork, all the memorandums and everything like that, and then y'all crowdfunding together. And then you can do, if you and your friends, your family want to do something, y'all can make an LLC and go in and do something that way. You can do some stocks. You can do a syndication. I just brought that up with the syndication. But then, there's crowdfunding platforms out there that you can do. For me, what my mentors tell me is there's no shortage of money. When the Dow dropped the way it did, all that did was the Fed rate went down real low. I know mortgages went down low. And then all it did was free up more money. So you have hedge funds out there that are out there looking for somewhere to spend their money. You got pension funds out there that's out there looking for somewhere to spend their money. They're looking for places to put their money, family. We just got to be at the right place. That's what it comes down to. We got to be at the right place. So this is what I usually do on this call, y'all. I like going over things that I'm working on for the week. So this week I'm working on funding. and I'm going to break it down for y'all right quick so y'all can have a better understanding of what I got. And I know some of y'all who already been on here before know that I've been working on a project in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and that project is a $170 million to $200 million project. It's going to be luxury apartments, boutique hotels, a park going to be out there. It's going to be built on the health and wellness and stuff like that, working with developers and all that kind of stuff. So what I've done, I've reached out to multiple funding sources, whether they're hedge funds, whether they're private money, whether they are pension funds. And I'm getting people to say, hey, I want to be a part of this particular build-out. So I'm going to go through and tell y'all what they're telling me. You know, there's no secret. It's just information. So I got one hedge fund. They said that they'll give, well, no, this is a private money person. He said he'll give $200 million, but he wants a 49% equity stake. And I said, okay, I just held on to that. So I'm just holding on to the information as they give it to me. And then they have a hedge fund that said that they want to see what other money is coming to the table. And it's called leverage. So I got another hedge fund. They said that they will do 90% of the purchase price, and they'll pay 100% of the construction costs. They didn't tell me if it was a debt play or equity play. The third type of entity want to do a debt play. They want to see what the city is going to do, the city of Virginia Beach. The fourth person or entity, they want to do a debt play. They said this is a bank out in California. They said that they'll do 70 to 85% of the purchase price. The fifth one is a hedge fund. They want to see LOIs from the land, letters of intent, and they want to see what other players are coming to the table to help out with funding. The sixth one is a hedge fund, and they're out of New York, and they said that they will do $200 million, and they want 30 to 35%. We have some companies that will bring in $30 million to the table. We have two more developers that we can actually get on the phone, and they can bring something to the table. We just got that husband and wife team that has stimulus money that may want to fund this thing. So as I'm going through all this, my bigger goal is to get over $1 billion. And what I'm going to do after I get all this money to come in for this particular build-outs that I'm doing, because I got about 10 different build-outs the same way, you know, some of them $450 million, what have you. And I'm going to tell it to y'all like this. So I started from a project, and I never thought I would be doing $1 million deals. Never, ever in my whole – it didn't even register that I'd do $1 million deals. When I started real estate, I wasn't thinking about – I was doing single family and everything like that. And then I started learning more and meeting more people, and my network introduced me to different people who allowed me to get in the front of people that can say, hey, Charles, I got $100 million. Hey, Charles, I got $200 million. Hey, I got $1 billion. Like, I got calls that I've been on, people got $1 billion to spend. And that's kind of – it's not crazy now, but back when it's like, wow, this guy said he got $1 billion. Like, really? Like, really? But now I'm just of the mindset that there's no shortage of money, so I'm going to go get it, period. I got some other stuff that I haven't even brought out yet, but I'm not going to. When I do this call, though, I'm going to tell everybody they need to sit down because this is going to affect America, like literally. And I am not even playing. I have no like that. This is going to affect America, and I'm going to do the call. It's going to be so big that people might not be able to get on to listen in. That's how big it's going to be. When they say become the lender, oh my goodness, stop playing, y'all. This is not a game. This is my life that we're talking about here. This is my legacy that I'm leaving here. So that's why it's just so much bigger than me. And my goal is to, continue to help people, continue to get this thing popped off and move into the next one and then keep going. But I put God first, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Some of y'all better be – I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? This is what I do. And I'm not testing anybody's faith here. I just want to put that out there. Some people get mad about that. But how long have you been praying? Like, think of that, really. Like, think of how long have you been praying? God, please, I want to do, been praying for so long, but let me ask you the question, seriously. You're praying for it, but are you actually working for it? Like, if I ask everybody that's listening to this, are you putting in 100%? What percentage would you say you're doing? Is it 50? Is it 60? Is it 90? Is it 95? Let's be honest. I mean, you don't have to be honest with me. Be honest with you. Like, you keep praying, and you've been praying for the same years and years, and if he's not increasing your territory, you're not waiting on God. We have to stop that. God did everything in the first 6 days, and he rested on the seventh for that reason, because he was done. Like, he is done. We have got to get up, and we have got to do it. And I'm going to tell you, I can say that from a position of strength because I was that person that didn't want to do or receive what was right in front of me. I was the person that would go to these doggone events, and I know y'all do it too. I would go to real estate events. I would go to all these other type of events, book writing events. I wouldn't buy a doggone thing. I would go home and try to figure it out. That was me. And then one day I was like, I'm really going in circles. I wasted 3 years. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. I wasted 3 years of trying to figure this thing out, from real estate to writing books to nonprofits. I just wasted time because I thought, I tell you, I'm a smart guy. I'm a